Hi, friends. Welcome back to another episode of Holy Highlights with Fanchon. Today, I'd like to share something with you that I woke up with personally on my heart, and that is abiding. So, I'm excited to dig in and share some things that I've been learning this morning about what that looks like and how we can apply that in our everyday routine and just living because we are called to abide and that doesn't mean that we leave. So I'd like to start with 1 John 2:28. And now, little children, abide in him so that when he appears, we may have confidence. There are so many amazing scriptures in the Bible that talk about abiding. And I can only imagine if it's mentioned so many times, it must be important to him. I think it's necessary. John 15:10, if you keep my commandments, you will abide in my love. He wants to protect you and he wants to show you his love for you. And I think the only way that that can happen is if we don't leave his presence because God is love and he wants to share his love with you and he wants to share everything he has for you. And we must abide in him with this. So John 15:5 says, I am the vine, you are the branches. Apart from me, you can do nothing. That is pretty powerful. Apart from me, you can do nothing. Not some things, not almost all things, not when it's convenient, I'll rely on you, Lord. But it's you can do nothing apart from me. Yeah. So this is the foundation, the connection that produces everything. There is a reason that he says it so many times, and there is a reason that he even uses the example of the vine and the branches because when we abide in him and we are attached to him in that place, that intimacy with the Lord, that we're abiding in him, that we produce fruit. That is the only way we can produce his fruit is when we stay abiding in him. So what does that look like? How can we do that? I want to share some ways that I personally do it. And if you have ways that you do it and you want to share it in the comments, that would be awesome. I think this is a great conversation that we can have and encourage each other and be creative and find different ways that we can stay abiding in him. So in my early morning encounter time with the Lord, I start by journaling out my prayers in the morning and then I spend time in his word. After that, when I'm getting ready for work, I have a little speaker and I put on worship music. And so it's this constant state of abiding in him, but it looks different into the different situations. But I'm still staying in that place. It just looks different from the day, throughout the day, what that looks like. So then I'm driving to work. I'm in my car and I'm either listening to Christian podcasts, listening to the Bible app, or Christian music. I'm just feeding my spirit. I get to the salon where I work and I keep worship music going on when I'm gone just to create that atmosphere of praise. And then whenever I get to the salon, clients are in my chair, they're sharing their heavy burdens with me. And I'm now so filled with oil from just spending time with him and abiding in him that I have overflow that I can start pouring into clients and sharing with what the Lord is doing with me, which encourages them. And then they have questions. And then now we get to talk about it. So we're still abiding. We're abiding together. We are sharing our relationship with the Lord with others, which is testimony. Right. And so I think this pleases him. And I think that no matter what we're doing throughout the day, that as long as we are staying in that seeking heart posture of wanting to learn and wanting to grow and just wanting to be completely emptied out of ourself so we can be filled with him, that's when we start seeing fruit, friends. And that's what he wants. He wants that. So I want to share a couple more scriptures with you. John 8:31, if you abide in my word, you are truly my disciples. Colossians 3:16, let the word of Christ dwell in you richly. Psalms 91:1, this is one of my favorites. He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Abiding produces security. It's not striving. It's not striving. We abide in his love. That's what he wants. 1 John 4:16 says, whoever abides in love abides in God and God abides in him.